Hi, good afternoon, everybody. This is Ken from Canton Chambers Lawyers. We are based in New Zealand. We are immigration lawyers. We are specialists in the immigration side. Today, this is like our fourth Facebook Live, and then we are going to talk to today is work to residence visa, especially for chef. And then I can briefly explanation what is a work to residence visa, and then why what's the for chef requirement for this one today. Hi, good afternoon, everybody. In New Zealand, and then we got some different kinds of visas there. And then briefly, we got three big categories. One is for temporary visa, and then the other one is for the residence visa. And then temporary visa means for even though you have a many years visa, many times visa, this is never linked to your residence visa. And then residence visa is you have some right to live here in New Zealand for like some permanently or right to live here in New Zealand. Between for temporary visa to residence visa, and then we have some work to residence visa. This is specify of some terms, and then when you meet the requirement, you can apply for residence visa and work visa, and then some year you work, and then you are entitled or qualified for apply for the residence visa. So in a work to residence visa, and then you have some two kinds of work to residence visa briefly. One is for employer accredited based for talent visa. So in a talent visa, also you have some two kinds of visas there. Highly skilled talent visa there, and then the other one is for sports and art area, and then you can apply for talent visa also. So the other one for work to residence visa is we call long-term skills shortage one. The long-term skills shortage means that when in New Zealand, whole over the New Zealand area, means from like in a Cape Reinga to Invercargill, whole New Zealand area, all the jobs is a very shortage, means for employers always for struggling to find a good employees on that job industry. Every year, once a year in New Zealand government, New Zealand Immigration Department has a consulting with industries, and then they update of that long-term skills shortage list. Once the one job is listed in the long-term skills shortage, and then that job is for specially treated by immigration department. I see many of the people are confused and also got a misunderstanding that okay, my job does not belong to long-term skills shortage, and still can I apply for residence visa? And then this is a totally wrong understanding. Even though your job is not in the long-term skills shortage, and then still you can apply for work visa, and then you can apply for residence visa under the skilled migrant category. So long-term skills shortage is totally different from a skilled migrant category under the skilled migrant category, and also the work visa as well. So today, and then I'm going to briefly explanation for one of the long-term skill shortage is chef is there, and then chef is in the list of long-term skills shortage. And then if any job is in the list of long-term skill shortage, there is also clear requirement there. And so if you meet the requirement, and then you can claim your job in the long-term skill shortage, and then you got some special treatment for when you apply for visa as well. Even though like when you apply for essential work visa, and then if your skill is in the long-term skill shortage, your job is in the list of long-term skill shortage, and then if you meet the requirement, and then you don't need any labor market test, means that employer doesn't need to put some advertisement in the New Zealand, because this is already recognized as a skill is a shortage, means that employer uh, considered as that like this job is for always a shortage, and the employee is always for struggling to find that good employee in that industry. So chef is one of the long-term skill shortage, and then the requirement is that for you need a 5 years experience of the chef experience, and then from there minimum 2 years of like a chef de partie or higher position. Some people like some other country, and then they ask me, what is for chef de partie? Then I'll tell you later. Then what is a chef de partie or that job title as well. So one of the other requirement is for you need a chef qualification. In a chef qualification, you need at least minimum level 4 certificate or higher position. Level 4 certificate is for usually 1 year full-time study is equivalent to for a certificate. And sometimes even though you study 1 year, then your study qualification will be sometimes the diploma. Diploma is usually level 5 and level 6, sometimes level 7, level 8. Depends on curriculum. You got some diploma degree. But usually 1 year level 4 is for usually what we call this as a certificate. So for the meet the requirement of a long-term skill shortage as a chef is a very clear 3 requirement. One is for your chef qualification, and then the other one is for you need for at least 5 years chef experience. One is for from there minimum 2 years of chef de partie or higher position. And then I can tell you for what is a chef de partie or a position. Usually in a chef, you got some based on experience, you will be ranked as a hierarchy. Usually for kitchen hand is a very basic, like assistant for chef or like very lower level. Kitchen hand is usually do not cook or like some prepare of the ingredient or wash the dishes or some other things. This is actually for assistant or in a kitchen. Then you got some chef is you usually commis chef. Commis chef is like some lower level of the chef. Then demi chef, then chef de partie, and then sous chef, and then usually head chef. So some countries are mixed up like a demi chef, chef de partie, or sous chef is some country treat as like equivalent for level. So commis chef, and then demi chef, chef de partie, sous chef is for kind of a section leader, middle class of the chef, the rank. And over that is a sous chef, and then head chef or like some executive chef. So chef de partie means that you are not lower level, and then you are the middle class of the like a chef, the rank. Means that for chef de partie or higher position means for in a kitchen, some like a department or some section. For example, in a big hotel for entree department or main department or like some the dessert department or any cuisine area for some Asian cuisine or European cuisine or maybe Chinese cuisine, then each for a section there, and then a section leader is usually at least for chef de partie or higher position. So that means for a minimum 5 years experience, and then for chef de partie or a higher position, and also minimum for level 4 or higher for chef qualification, then you will get some entitlement of long-term skill shortage. This means for you are qualified for work to residence visa. Once you are qualified, and then when you apply for work to residence visa, your visa period will be 30 months. This is 2 years and 6 months. And then after 2 years, and then you will apply for residence visa. The very advantage of this work to residence visa is that you don't need any English requirement. So this is a very big advantage. So when you will apply for a residence visa after 24 months, means that 2 years later, and then you can apply for your residence visa without English requirement. And also, when you apply for your residence visa, you have to get some minimum income threshold, and then $45,000 is required for meet requirement when you apply for residence visa. Hi, Maxil, and then you come, and then hi, Tina, and then so it's very nice to see you here. And then also other people, thank you. Oh, Kim Manalo, I hear then. It's very nice to see you here. Okay, then I can explain for then this advantage is for when you come to New Zealand, and then when you get some visa here, and then you can bring your family members, and then from your wife or husband, and then your children can bring here, and then partner will have some open work visa, and then open work visa holder means that you can work any employer, you can work for any job, you can work for any hours. Means if you want to really work hard and make more money, then you work more jobs and then more hours, and then you can make more money. Sometimes for come to New Zealand as a partner with an open work visa, the person work more and then earn more than earn more than the principal applicant. But yeah, it's up to you. This is the brief summary of the work to residence visa, and then especially for the chef. In my law firm, and then we are helping the people who doesn't have any qualification. We can help you to get some any qualification in New Zealand, or like sorry, then so you can get some any qualification. We can help you that matter. That means if any person who has more than 5 years experience as a chef, and then more than 2 years as chef de partie experience, then you have to provide of your employment certificate, and also like a good evidence of supporting your actual work experience. And also the other thing is that when you apply for work to residence visa, then your working place shall be for a la carte restaurant style and or commercial catering at the place. Means that if your working place is in a cafeteria or takeaway shop, and then you may have risk of disqualified for work to residence visa. And also one more thing, and then there are so many people who got some experience as a cook, and then cook and chef is a little different title, different position, and different work differences. Sorry, right? And then chef is a more like experience, more wide role there, right? So if the cook is only for cooking only, and then doesn't do any other jobs, means for any menu create or like some cost calculation or any safety or the hygiene in the kitchen, all kinds of things can be done by chef, and then the cook is only for cooking based on for recipe. So technically, a cook cannot be qualified for this work tourism visa category here. All right. This is my brief summary today. And then maybe if you got any some questions, I can get some questions.
Yes, sir. Regarding of questions for our fourth Facebook Live,
Yes.
for the benefit of all our viewers, which we have 15 viewers at the moment,
Okay.
what can you tell us, sir, what is the WTR?
Okay. WTR means for work, and then the residency means like we call this some period work, and then so you are qualified to residence visa here in New Zealand. That means the residence visa is totally qualified for, you have a right to live here in New Zealand as a residence, and then temporary visa is only for work, and then or stay here in temporary in New Zealand. Then once that term is expired, then you have to go back to your own country. However, work to residence means for like between temporary visa to residence visa, and then some period you work, and then you are qualified for the residence visa. Yeah, this is work to residence visa means.
For all our viewers here that mostly are chef, they are asking about what are the minimum requirement for applying WTR as a chef, sir?
Yeah, I told you like some of the earlier. Then, as a chef, to qualify for work to residence visa means for you need a minimum of 5 years experience as a chef, and then so from there minimum 2 years of chef de partie or higher position, and then you need a qualification of the chef, which is level 4 or higher qualification you need. This is a three requirement to as a work to residence visa, as a work visa, and then 2 years later, and then you need a salary requirement, so minimum $45,000 per year, and then your working place shall be for a la carte style or commercial catering place. This is a whole requirement.
Sir, Ronel Delio Baclayan from Philippines, he just sent you a message like he just want to apply for a line cook. Is he a line cook is still considered as a chef?
No, as I told you earlier, and then cook is different from chef. And then if you, I know for many countries, you give a job title as a cook, and then cook is technically different from the chef. So cook is you don't have to other roles, only for in the kitchen. And then if the customer comes and then make order, and then you just like cook for meal based on for recipe of the kitchen recipe of the owner, and then you just like cook the meal, and then this is the served, and then your role is a cook means for very simple, easy, and so just like a cook. However, so many people, even though you got some chef title, and then your main job is like a cook, but difference is there, and then there's a reason why so many people are confused of like a cook and then chef. So if you got any experience, work experience in one place, and then if you want to get any experience or certificate, and depends on your role, and then it's better to get some certificate as a chef.
Sir, there's a follow-up question by our Rudno Delio. He said that he's a commis chef. Commis chef is still now considered?
Yeah, so commis chef is, as I told you before, chef rank, and then commis chef is for like the lower level, starting level of the chef role. And then some countries like first commis chef, second commis chef, and third commis chef, like that. So in any way, commis chef itself is like a chef, right? As a consultant, but more experienced, and so you are promoted as like a demi chef or chef de partie, and then so many years experience in more in charge, more in like responsibility. Then you are promoted as a sous chef or head chef. So for just apply for work visa as essential work visa. Then if you got some more than 3 years, any chef experience, you will be qualified. However, if you want to apply for work to residence visa as a chef, then you need a minimum 5 years experience of the chef plus for among the 5 years and the minimum 2 years of a chef de partie or higher position is required. That means that technically your experience as a commis chef for 3 years, and then the 2 years or higher, 2 years or more as a chef de partie, then you are qualified for work to residence visa.
Sure.
That means for any qualification is we are going to help you to how to get some qualification, and then will be okay. But technically for work to residence visa itself of the policy, then you need a 3 requirement, like a qualification plus 5 years experience of the chef, and then from there more than 2 years chef de partie or higher position, then you will be qualified as for work to residence visa. Then after 2 years work, and then you can apply for residence visa with that English requirement. And then when you apply for residence visa, you need a $45,000 or higher salary threshold, then you'll be okay.
Sir, there's more questions like they asking about the chef age limit. Does it have any effect with, because normally chef they normally learning on cooking and then have gained experience. Can you tell about such age limit, or does it have?
Yeah, this is a very good question. For work to residence visa, the age limit is 55 years old. So that means when you apply for work to residence visa, and then if you are 55 years old, then you will be qualified. So age limit is 55. But, yeah.
Sir, speaking of the age limit, and our viewers from India, Elias Tampi, he sent a message like, what is the difference between work resident visa and essential work visa?
Okay, essential work visa is quite like some common and then general work visa. Means that I have explained to you before, and then there are several kinds of work visas there, and then one of the popular one is for essential work visa. Essential work visa means that for purely based on for employment basis, means that New Zealand employer need an employee of his or her business, and then if he cannot find any good employees from New Zealand people, means for New Zealand citizen or New Zealand residence visa holder, then he cannot close down his business. That means he can find a good employee from overseas. Then overseas can work for the New Zealand employer, but as a foreigner, he has to get some visa here in New Zealand. Then that overseas employee need to apply for visa to the immigration department. Then he apply for essential work visa. Some other work visas there, for example, after you study, you got a work visa. This is a post-study work visa. And then you got a work visa as a partner of New Zealand residence visa or citizen. This is a work visa under the partnership. Or if your partner is work or officially stay here in New Zealand, then as a partner of the principal applicant, this is also a work visa. And then working holiday visa or like some silver fund visas. There are so many kinds of work visas here. And this is an essential work visa. And then work to residence visa is, as I told you, one of the work to residence visa long-term skills shortage is for in whole over the New Zealand area. This job is always like some short and then big demands from the employer. Then immigration department make some list, and then if the job is in the list, then you got some special like a treatment, special benefit, and then your visa will be fixed for 30 months, and then after 24 months you are entitled to apply for the residence visa. This is the differences here.
Sir, now we're getting more of our chef viewers. They asking about like, since that they have the visa, they partner can able to work here in New Zealand.
Yeah, as I told you, like some for partner of the principal applicant who has a proper visa, some partners are qualified for the visa here. Usually, partner will have an open work visa. Means that open work visa means that you can work here, and then what kind of work you can do? Okay, any kind of work, any kind of for any employer, any hours, but except for illegal work is not allowed to work. For example, for like a sex industry, you cannot work for that area.
Very good, sir.
Yeah.
Well, and now, sir, for the chef who have a family like childrens, they how about the children? Although can also bring their children and study here?
Yeah, under the work to residence visa, this is also a still work visa, and then you can bring your family, means including your partner, and also you can bring your children, and then children can enjoy of a domestic tuition the plan. That means your children will have a benefit for like a tuition fee free up to the high school, means like a secondary school. This is you will treat same as with domestic students in New Zealand.
That's a very good news to everyone here, viewers, that your children can able to study here for free.
Yeah. So okay, I can see my Korean friend like some. Then I can say greeting him. 이보이 감사합니다. Yeah, he's my friend, and yeah, he's a PD producer.
Yeah, that's very nice,
Yeah.
sir. Sir, maybe somebody asking you about the English test. Is this also, you said it a while ago, you don't need the English test, but how about the wife or the partner and the children's? How about this? Are they going to require for English test?
Okay. Principal applicant is waived of English requirement. However, all the partners of the dependent family is all need English requirement. Partner of like a principal applicant, they need English IELTS 5 in general or academic. If you meet the 5, and then English will be okay, meet the requirement. If under 5, then it depends on your score, and then you need to pre-purchase of English tuition fee. And if your children's are over 17 years old, and then the children also need an English requirement. The English is for level 5 requirement. But if the children have more than the 5 years study here in New Zealand, and then finish for like a high school here in New Zealand, then will be okay. Some English requirements is applied to the family members. So it depends on your situation, then will be okay. However, if you do not meet the requirement, then don't worry. Then you have to purchase of the English tuition fee, and then you can use it in later on for using that money paid in advance for improve your English.
Mm-hmm. Sir, can you able to read Mr. Ronelio Baclayan Lusa? He sent you a message.
Okay. Okay, so Rodelio, and then okay, thank you, Ken. And then I will just send my resume and then documentation for Commie Chef after this live. Thank you so much. You can send it to us, and then you can send documentation or CV for your assessment. Send your CV like a visa apply, VISA APPLY, visa apply at cantonlaw.co.nz, and then we will do some pre-assessment for you. And also, please come to our Facebook, and then please like our main page, and then this is good for you. And also, this live video will be posted in YouTube in a later on. Please come and then subscribe, and then you can see more more live in the future. Okay, today this is our live. This is for work to residence visa, and we will prepare some other topics next week. And if you like any other topics too, we can handle for you. Then please send a text to us or send the email to us. Thank you so much. Okay, thank you. Bye bye, everybody. Bye bye.